And here we go, the 9th on-camera drawing video for drawing right and left. And this one will be another one where I actually do draw right and left. A red pen in my left hand and a blue pen in my right hand. And that just makes it easier afterward to tell what I ended up doing with which hand. This particular drawing isn't a very long or detailed one, but it does give kind of a benchmark in regard to a few things. Partway through, I end up switching pens between the right and the left. And one of my long-term goals is for a drawing made by my left hand to be indistinguishable from a drawing made by my right hand. Now, this drawing in particular is only using one pen technique, and that makes it easier to tell if there are any wild inconsistencies. A couple of the things I'm looking for are when and if the left hand lags behind the right hand, and if there are any noticeable changes depending on how far apart the pen tips are from each other. I mentioned before in a previous video that the further the pen tips are from each other, the harder it is to keep track of them individually. And by keep track of them, I mean watching them and making sure that they're both in my field of view. If one of them gets a little bit too far out, then we get a bit more of the lazy drifting off behavior that's been documented before in my left hand. And in this drawing, there aren't any huge red flags as far as any of those things, but then again, there aren't any really fine details here either. And that leads me to believe that at this point in time, I could probably manage relatively simple patterns, like, for example, this kind of reminds me of, like, maybe it could turn into a leopard print, or maybe even a fishing net. But in the next video, I'll only be using my left hand. And hopefully that will show in a bit more detail what the differences really are between my right and my left hand, as far as coordination and a few other things. But that's about it for now, for video 9 of on-camera drawing for drawing right and left.